Look around you. The city breathes with life, a symphony of millions. You walk through crowded streets, ride packed subways, sit in bustling cafes. You are surrounded by an ocean of humanity, but have you ever felt completely, utterly invisible? As if you were a ghost drifting through a world that doesn't see you, doesn't hear you? It's the paradox of modern urban life. We've built these incredible hubs of human activity designed for connection and commerce, yet within them, a profound sense of isolation can flourish. You might share an elevator with 10 people, yet no one makes eye contact. You can sit in a park surrounded by hundreds, yet feel an invisible wall separating you from everyone else. This isn't just being alone, it's a specific kind of ache, the feeling of being lonely within the crowd. It's a quiet epidemic, often unspoken, hidden behind busy schedules and digital screens. Why is it that in an age of unprecedented connectivity, we can feel so disconnected? Why does living among millions sometimes intensify the feeling of being utterly alone? Today, we explore this urban loneliness, not as a personal failing, but as a modern condition, and seek wisdom in ancient philosophies that understood the human need for both connection and inner solitude. To understand the roots of this feeling, we can look to wisdom that transcends time and culture. While the Stoics offer profound insights into our inner world, other ancient traditions also grappled with the nature of self and society. Lao Tzu, the legendary founder of Taoism, offered this perspective. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Why bring a Taoist sage into a reflection on loneliness? Because Lao Tzu points to a fundamental truth echoed by the Stoics. The ultimate source of strength and wisdom lies not in our relationship with the external world, but in our relationship with ourselves. If we don't know ourselves, if we haven't mastered our inner landscape, no amount of external connection or social mastery can fill that void. Loneliness often begins when the connection to oneself is weak, making external connections feel superficial or unattainable. Modern loneliness, especially in our cities, is often not a crisis of quantity but of quality. We are rarely truly physically alone. We have colleagues, acquaintances, neighbors, thousands of friends online. The issue isn't the lack of people, but the lack of deep, meaningful, authentic connection. We engage in surface-level interactions, small talk that skirts the edges of real feelings, and curated online performances that mask our vulnerabilities. We chase connection in the crowd, hoping that being around people will alleviate the ache, but often find it only amplifies our sense of being an outsider. Why? Because we are looking for a solution in the wrong place. The Stoics understood this well. Figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus constantly emphasized the importance of the inner citadel, that fortress of self-sufficiency, reason, and virtue within. They believed that true contentment and peace must come primarily from within. While they valued friendship and community, they cautioned against making our inner well-being dependent on external validation or the presence of others. If our sense of wholeness relies entirely on the crowd, we will always be vulnerable when the crowd disperses, or when, even within it, we feel unseen. True connection starts with being able to stand comfortably and even contentedly with oneself. Modern psychology reinforces this deep-seated need for belonging. In their influential 1995 paper, psychologists Roy Baumeister and Mark Leary proposed that the need to belong is a fundamental human motivation. They argued that we possess an innate drive to form and maintain a minimum quantity of lasting, positive, and significant interpersonal relationships. When this need isn't met, it leads to a host of negative emotional and cognitive consequences, including loneliness. But here's the crucial twist in our digital age. We often mistake connectivity for connection. Social media platforms offer an endless stream of apparent social interaction. We can like, share, comment, and observe the lives of hundreds, even thousands. Yet, paradoxically, studies suggest that heavy social media use can sometimes correlate with increased feelings of loneliness and depression. Why? Because these digital interactions often lack the depth, vulnerability, and reciprocity of genuine face-to-face relationships. They provide a quick hit of validation, a momentary distraction from the feeling of being alone, but they rarely nourish the fundamental need for true belonging. They can become a form of social snacking, filling us up with empty calories, leaving us feeling less satisfied than before, and preventing us from seeking the nutritious meals of real connection. Let us step back in time to a world without digital distractions, yet one where loneliness and betrayal could cut just as deep. Imagine a Roman centurion. Let's call him Cassius. A man defined by duty, by loyalty to his legion and his emperor. He fought bravely on distant frontiers, built his identity around his role as a soldier, found his belonging among his comrades in arms. His entire world was the legion. Then, through political intrigue or a shift in power, he is betrayed, perhaps by a superior he trusted, or even by the system he served. His comrades are lost, his rank is stripped away, his honor is questioned. He is cast out, alone. He returns to a Rome that no longer recognizes him, or worse, scorns him. The crowd he fought for now feels alien and hostile. He has lost his tribe, his purpose, his identity. Overwhelmed by this profound isolation, Cassius retreats. He leaves the city, the source of his pain, and seeks refuge in the quiet solitude of the countryside. He lives simply, close to nature. He walks through forests, listens to the streams, observes the changing seasons. He begins to read philosophy, perhaps even the early Stoics. He takes up a pen, a scroll, and begins to write not reports for commanders, but his own thoughts, his pain, his reflections. It is here, in this imposed, then embraced solitude, that Cassius begins a new journey. He is no longer defined by his rank or the opinions of others. In the quiet, he confronts his anger, his grief, his sense of betrayal, and slowly he finds a different kind of strength, a connection not to an empire or a legion, but to the natural world, and most importantly, to his own inner core. He learns to forgive, not necessarily for the sake of those who wronged him, but for his own peace. He finds a power and self-mastery that no emperor could grant or take away. Cassius's story, though set in a different time, reflects a universal human experience. Perhaps we haven't faced betrayal on a battlefield, but most of us, in our own ways, have felt the sting of being let down, misunderstood, or cast aside. We felt the loneliness that comes when friendships fade, when relationships end, when we feel out of step with the society around us. We too can feel abandoned or unseen in our own urban jungles. But the Stoic lesson, mirrored in Cassius's journey, is that these moments of solitude, while painful, can also be opportunities. They are invitations to turn inward. Loneliness can become the catalyst for self-discovery. It is a chance to practice being with ourselves without needing the constant validation or distraction of the crowd. It's an opportunity to examine our thoughts, to understand our emotions, to build our resilience, and to cultivate that inner sufficiency, that inner citadel, which ensures that while we may prefer connection, we do not depend on it for our fundamental sense of peace and worth. Perhaps then, we need to redefine loneliness. It might not primarily be the absence of people. It might, more fundamentally, be the absence of a strong, compassionate connection with yourself. When you know yourself, when you can stand with yourself, the need for the crowd's constant affirmation lessens. You learn the profound difference between being alone and being lonely. Choose sometimes to be alone, to cultivate that inner space, rather than feeling lonely within the crowd. This is a discipline. It requires practice. But as the Stoics knew, and as Lao Tzu hinted, this discipline, this mastery of self, is the true path to inner freedom and resilience. Build your inner citadel. Make it strong. Make it a place of refuge, a source of inner peace that no external circumstance can fully take away. If this reflection on loneliness resonated with you, SEO, subscribe to continue exploring these timeless ideas. And please, share your own experiences or thoughts on loneliness in the comments below. Connection often starts with sharing our vulnerabilities. Join us next time as we confront another profound human experience. We'll ask, when time seems to run out, what truly matters? Next time we explore the fear of aging and the journey of finding meaning in every stage of life.